Hello and welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In the last video I have discussed about the Indian architecture, in which I discussed about the ancient and early architectures. Today I am going to proceed with Shah Jahan's contribution in Indian architecture and about modern architecture, under which I am going to discuss about the European architecture, which is going to be divided into Portuguese and English, and about the French style also. I'm going to discuss about the paintings also. So let us proceed with the first topic of the day is the era of Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan's period was also known as the golden period of the Mughal architecture because he constructed so many monuments in India. He constructed monuments based majorly in two places. One in Agra, where he constructed Moti Masjid and Taj Mahal. Moti Masjid is constructed under the Agra fort, and the Taj Mahal, it is the most famous monument of our country. The chief architect of Taj Mahal is the Ustad Isha, and the chief craftsman was Ustad Hamid Lahori. The materials used were the white marbles from the Makrana, Rajasthan. He decorated it with the golden thread and studded with the precious gems and stones. About the shape, we all know that the Mughals, they came with a different kind of dome, which was also known as the onion shaped dome. It was having four minars, and the style was Tudor arc was also used. And the basic difference was that they all constructed every monument on the top of a platform. Secondly, he constructed many buildings in the Delhi. In 1639, Shah Jahan laid the foundation of new city, which is known as Shah Jahanabad, on the bank of river Jamuna, now also known as Old Delhi. Shah Jahanabad is divided into two parts. One part is Red Fort and the other is Jama Masjid. The Red Fort was having two parts. One was the Diwan-e-Am and the other was the Diwan-e-Khas. This was the speciality of the Mughal construction. This Red Fort was also made up of red sandstones. Now we are going to discuss about the Diwan-e-Am and Diwan-e-Khas in little detail. Now the Diwan-e-Am, as the name suggests, it was for the everyone, means for the ministers and even to the general public. There was a peacock throne in this place, and Shah Jahan used to sit on this. The most famous diamond, Kohinoor diamond, was studded in this throne, and it was excavated from Golconda mines, Andhra Pradesh. Shah Jahan used to sit on it and used to have the meetings. Kohinoor diamond and even the peacock throne was carried away from our country in the year 1739 by Nadir Shah to Iran. Now we are going to discuss about the Diwan-e-Khas. As the name suggests, it was for the important, or you can say the royal people. In front of Diwan-e-Khas, there was a great swimming pool, which was known as Nahr-e-Bahisht, which means the water coming from heaven. In reality, the water was from the Yamuna river. It was used by only the royal family members. This is all about Shah Jahan's contribution. Now there is a very little discussion about Aurangzeb also. He was against all the art form, and so he constructed only two monuments in our country. One was known as Bibi Ka Maqbara, in the memory of her wife, which is constructed in Aurangabad. Now it is known as Sambhaji Nagar. It is a kind of replica of Taj Mahal. Second one is the Moti Masjid of Delhi. It was constructed in Delhi only. Now we are going to proceed further with the European constructions, in which I am going to discuss about the Portuguese first. They introduced a Iberian style of architecture. In this architecture, woods and bricks were used for the construction of buildings. They introduced a style which is known as Baroque style, where the house was with the courtyard. Now in Goa, you can find many of their construction, like St. Cathedral Church, Bom Jesus Basilica, and the Fort of Diu. Let us proceed further with the English and French architecture. The Gothic architecture was introduced by English and French, where the walls were very thin and they used to have many pillars inside. The specialty was the windows were very big. So you can find these kind of buildings like in Calcutta, Victoria Memorial, in Delhi, Connaught Place. The Indo-Saracenic is the another form of architecture which was introduced by British. Now the buildings were in the circular shape. So you can see the old parliament, Supreme Court and the President's House as the example of this Saracenic style. Now let us proceed to the next art form which is known as paintings. In the prehistoric age, humans started living in caves around 10,000 BC. This is also known as Upper Paleolithic Age or the Old Stone Age. This the whenever they find a cave, they used to clean it and decorate it. Then only they used to start living inside it. So you can find many caves in India which were very nicely decorated by the people, old age people. In Upper Paleolithic Age, there is first exhibition of human art in the form of cave painting. We have found cave paintings in many places like Bhimbetka, which is in Madhya Pradesh, Mariana Pahar in UP, Mirzapur, Kaimur Range, Jharkhand, and Lakhudiyar in Uttarakhand. These paintings were basically of animal, birds, and humans, and they used to construct them in the form of a stick. Basically, they used to use the matchsticks, or you can say very thin sticks, to paint this kind of paintings. They painted various economic activities like hunting, honey collection, and the fishing, etc. They use natural colors that is the color from the plants and minerals. So what they basically used to do, they used to dry the color and they used it on the dry wall. This is also known as mural painting. Lakhudiyar at the bank of river Suyal in Uttarakhand, and you can find many people standing joining hand in hand and they are dancing. That is the first form. You can see a formation of dance there. Then let's proceed to the next part. That's where the man-made caves were found, like the paintings of the man-made cave. First is Ajanta. Ajanta, there are 29 caves, 25 for Vihar and 4 for Chaitanya. And the 26th one is the largest. You can find the painting of Tribhanga in the cave number 1. Tribhanga means 3 bodhisattva. First is Padmapani, where the Lord Buddha was having a lotus in his hand, which shows how kind was Buddha, compassion of Buddha. Next is Vajrapani, which shows the power. Then the Manjushri, which means the wisdom. In the cave number 16, we can find the dying princess picture, and she was surrounded by many people with the sadness in their face. Next, we are proceeding to the Ellora. In the Kailash temple constructed by Rashtrakuta dynasty, Krishna I, all the paintings are here only. There you can find many Hinduist paintings. Then Annamalai cave painting, which is in Tamil Nadu, it is the Jana cave. The painting is known as Ashtadi Palak, means protector of all 8 corners. These are of the Tirthankars. Next, we are having a Sitan Vasal cave, Tamil Nadu. The Jain Tirthankars features, there is a painting there where you can find a Tirthankar is sitting in the middle and he is surrounded by the people and the animals, even by the god and Apsara, and they all are listening what the Tirthankar is saying. So in the Jaina Dharma, the Tirthankars were above all the god even. Then you can have a Lipakshi temple, which is in Anantapuram, Andhra Pradesh. On the walls of this temple, you can find many paintings, and these paintings are only known as the Lipakshi paintings. These paintings are influenced by Ramayana, Mahabharata, and incarnations of Lord Vishnu. These are also in the mural painting form. So means you are going to use the dry color on the dry wall. There is another form of painting which is known as fresco. In this, the wall is also wet and even the colors are wet. So we are painting the wall when they are wet with the wet colors. They are going to become more prominent, and this is known as fresco. Now we are going to talk about the next cave, that is Badami Cave Temple. In the cave number 3, which was this, these all were constructed by Chalukya dynasty. The paintings were related to Hinduism. There is one painting in which Brahma with 4 hands is flying in the swan. It is also in the form of mural painting. So in the painting we have till now discussed about the natural cave painting and the man-made cave painting. Now we are proceeding to the different schools of painting. The first school was the Pala school, which started in the 750 AD. Pala dynasty arose in Bengal. It was established in the year 750 AD, and the famous kings were Gopal, Dharmpal and Devpal. Dharmpal, he is the one who constructed the Vikramshila University. Though they have also developed painting style, and this was known as the Pala school of painting. All the Buddha paintings are of Buddhas. They make paintings on the sal leaves and vellum papers. All the paintings were solo also. The background color was red, and it was very nicely decorated border. Theme of the painting was the Jatak story. Jatak story is the Buddhist text, where it is a story of birth of Gautam Buddha. Dhimal and Vitpal were the 2 greatest painters of Pal school of painting. So by this I am concluding my session, and I am going to continue with the Uprange school of painting in my next video. Thank you.